Back at the Fox Network Center, second intermission, along with Dave Maloney. I'm James Brown. Right now, down in Washington, D.C. Yeah, the Caps still struggling, trailing by a goal to Florida. Boy, Eric Lindros, not accustomed to seeing him off his feet.
No, that's for sure. He's the story of the second period. He will get this goal in a 5-on-3 situation. The puck squiggles its way back. He chips it to the net. But the biggest story of the period, this hit, clean, shoulder on chin. Eric Lindros, down he goes at the hit from Kasperitis. Eric Lindros will pay attention to that story. Up by a goal after 2. Rob Blake, our face-off guy, gets his second goal of the afternoon right here. Why do we give it to him? Because he got the hardest shot in the ice, slaps it right home, beats Osgood, and the Kings in a feisty game up on Detroit 2-1.
Speaking of feisty, that's taking place in St. Louis. Dallas right now all-nighter with St. Louis at 1.
The Boston Bruins have turned the puck over at their blue line. Not this guy, Ray Bourque, but they have been guilty turning the puck over. This is Bourque. He slaps it to the net. It's tipped in by Samsonov, 1-0. I talk about turnovers right here. They can't get the puck out. Daze, 1 shot, 2 shots, into the net it goes. The Chicago Blackhawks up 2-1 in the second period. Daze leads the team with 25 goals.
Chicago 8-1-1 in the last 10 games against Boston.
The great one has played better with the freedom under John Muckler. But who's the story in this goal? Brian Leetch blows right around Carpenter's out of position, and a one-hander finds its way to the back of the net. On the power play, the Devils are 3 for 3. This is the third one. Why not? Forget-me-not. Jason Arnott right there bangs it home. But Gretzky will get his 1,000th career goal, including including playoffs, right there. That goes off Stevens' skate. Wayne Gretzky and the Rangers nodded at 3.
You know what? You like those flowing locks of Mike Modano?
Mike Modano, love those flowing locks.
We'll see it a lot more. Dave says, where are you going with this? Mike Modano's up next. That's where I'm going.
We make ice cream. I know very little about computers. I'm an idea guy. I'm not a computer guy. Me, computers, I'm the guy that dreams up the flavors. Thinking. Computer cream, that'd be really cool. Get it? I'm really into ice cream, and I need someone who's as good at computers as I am at ice cream. I'm a hands-on ice cream guy, not literally.
Ha! Maple Leaf!
We don't get a lot of French-Canadian gardeners.
How? I can make a save with a garden weasel.
Much less French-Canadian gardener goalies.
Unable to stop Matt Sundin, Francois Dupuis is forced to become a gardener.
Ooh, what a goalie!
You got a skate sharpener I can borrow there?
He always had a problem with us Maple Leafs.
Go away, Maple Leafs! I hate you! You remind me of Matt Sundin. You're the worst Leafs on earth, you little Matt Sundin. I never knew what he was going to do. Go top zone, corner zone, left side, stick side. Oops, missed the spot. Die, Maple Leafs! Die! Die! I'm gonna kill you!
If you had 99 cents, what would you buy? A gallon of gas? A new air freshener? How about Wendy's chicken nuggets?
Oh, yeah.
All white meat, crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside. Bite for bite, the best bet in chicken.
That's the one I'd pick.
It is a test, not just of strength, but of the power of the mind. And if you complete the journey, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
The net is your engine. The puck is friction. And we're the guy with the mask and big pads. Introducing 3 new high-tech synthetic oils from Quaker State. Specially formulated for the vehicle you drive and the way you drive it. For superior engine protection. Quaker State, official protector of the NHL. Now at Pep Boys, 40,000 items at the guaranteed low price. Tires and service too. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
I thought you were gonna buy some Bud Light.
Do you see any Bud Light?
No.
Well then.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Where'd you find that one?
Behind the milk.
Titanic sensation Leonardo DiCaprio, Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman, and L.A. Confidential's Russell Crowe. The Quick and the Dead, Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Next week on Fox, the Stanley Cup rematch between the Detroit Red Wings and Philadelphia Flyers highlight our 6-game regional schedule. Check local listings for the game in your area. As we welcome you back to Fox NHL Saturday. The Dallas Stars currently own the best record in the National Hockey League. Now, that's a big improvement from 2 years ago when the Stars finished 22nd and missed the playoffs. Joe Micheletti sat down with superstar center Mike Modano and asked him what caused the dramatic turnaround.
I think a lot of things. I think it started with our ownership. I think we were able to get out, have some more money, go out there and get some free agents, improve our team that way. We had to wait on our younger draft picks. We had waited on Harvey and waited on a lot of our younger defensemen, and now they're matured and playing great for us. But we needed that extra little financial help, and with Tom Hicks, it's definitely there now, and we're able to go out and get Ed Belfour, Pat Verbeek, made a great trade for Zubov, and those kind of things have kind of just snowballed for us, and now we're in a great position the last couple of years.
After last season, your contract ran out. You decided to sign a contract just as the season was starting, sitting out training camp. But we've seen this year a lot of unrestricted free agents decide to hold out. Fedorov just signed, Paul Kariya. A lot of those players held out. You decide not to. Why?
I think those players had a little more leverage, I think, than I had. I think they've had some great careers, Fedorov, especially with the Selke and the Hart and winning the Cup. I think those players had a little more leverage, and I really didn't have too much going into negotiations. You know, you need the hardware, you need the Stanley Cup, and you need to be able to win consistently. And I think, you know, I didn't want to be a distraction to the team going into the start of the season. I wanted to be there from the start and get together with the guys and just go from there. And if hockey goes well, if I do personally well, and the team wins, then those kind of things take care of itself.
Making $3.5 million this year, the contract you signed, and now as you've been playing, and obviously playing well, you're a candidate for the MVP in the league. It's I would think it's kind of a nice feeling to see what some of the other players are signing for now, $7-8 million.
It was shocking, and to be honest with you, I never thought it would get to this high of a level, but the money up front, the restricted free agency, no one thought that teams would be throwing out this money to these guys, but it has happened, and teams want to improve quickly, and that's how you got to do it.
Can this team win it all?
People are talking about us maybe having a good shot at it. I think we just got to stay really within ourselves and not get too ahead of ourselves. I think that's what we had happen last year. We got a little too ahead of us. We're looking a little further into the playoffs than we should have, and Edmonton came in and shocked us really bad. But everybody came with a clear focus in training camp, and it definitely helped. And to be able to get right back on that horse and be consistent as we have, you know, hopefully we learn from what happened last year and we can be able to move on this year.
And Modano hopes he can help lead the charge for a Dallas run at the Stanley Cup, a drink that this franchise has yet to savor in its 30-year history. And Fox NHL Saturday continues after this.
MasterCard presents the NHL Cutting Edge Plays of the Week. If this were the Olympics, he'd win the gold medal of this game. All the Oilers right in, they score! 11 seconds into overtime.
Bertuzzi throws it over the blue line. Bertuzzi scores! Oh, my, what a brilliant goal!
MasterCard, official card of the NHL and proud sponsor of the Cutting Edge Play of the Year.
2 magazines, 1 double espresso, $12. Khaki pants, $45. Work boots, $85. Realizing you're unzipped before anyone else does? Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Accepted all over. Even coffee bars.
A deferred annuity, fixed or variable.
Your shares may be worth more or less than their original cost.
A mutual fund that delivers superior risk-adjusted returns.
You're close to a golden retirement through strategic assets.
Gee, retirement planning is so complicated.
It doesn't have to be. MetLife has lots of products like mutual funds, annuities, and 401k plans. And the Met rep can help you make sense of it all.
Cool.
Get Met. It pays.
Over the years, one brand has won more 4x4 awards than any other name in history. Once again, we've captured everyone's attention. Jeep Grand Cherokee 5.9 Limited, 4x4 of the year. Jeep, the most award-winning brand of 4x4s in all the world.
On Fox, NHL Saturday, the Red Wings battle the Flyers, or the Avalanche take on the Kings. Next week at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Check local listings.
Breakaway showtime. He scores!
Log on to the coolest game on earth. NHL.com puts you center ice with cool features, the latest stats, and hottest video clips. Listen to live radio broadcasts of virtually every NHL game free.
It doesn't get any better than this, baby!
Get cool gear from the NHL store, chat with NHL superstars, or jump to your favorite team's website. 24 hours a day from anywhere in the world. Skate the web and score with NHL.com.
Back in Washington with the Panthers, leading the Capitals 2-1. Our Bud Ice statistics, Capitals outshot Florida 15-8 in the second, 21-19 overall, in the midst of their 5th power play opportunity. We'll return to Washington in a moment.
Oh my God, they're back.
The truth is out there. The X-Files, an all-new episode, Sunday at 9, 8 Central.
The very thought of you, and I forget to do the little ordinary things that everyone ought to do. It's just the thought of you, the very thought of you, my love.
I don't even completely trust myself anymore because I wasn't always like this. I've lost interest in everything I was ever interested in. And so my only interest is keeping from being sick. That's it. It's like the real me is dead inside. It's gone.
When the snow melts and the earth blooms, the mountain air takes on a clean, fragrant freshness. Your clothes can have that clean mountain scent with Mountain Spring Tide.
Like regular scent powder Tide, its unique cleaning system washes away many tough stains better than leading regular powders and helps clean away the fuzz that can make cottons look old.
Fresh, like a cool mountain spring.
Mountain Spring Tide. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide.
Every day, I have to know what I'm doing. The proof is in the job I do. And the choices I make.
Toyota Camry, the #1 selling car in America.
He survives on human livers. Next, X-Files.
Tonight at 6.
A taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light. By MasterCard. MasterCard, the official card of the NHL. By the U.S. Navy. Navy, let the journey begin. And by Jeep, makers of the Jeep Grand Cherokee, Cherokee, and Wrangler.
Welcome back to the NHL on Fox from the MCI Center in Washington. In between periods 2 and 3, Kenny Albert with Terry Crisp. Florida Panthers lead the Washington Capitals by the score of 2-1. Terry, Capitals in 6th place in the Eastern Conference. Huge game for the Panthers, 10 points out of a playoff spot as we head down the stretch. Each team with a goal in the second period. Let's take a look.
Kenny, watch this first goal here is a great one. I like the one that's from the point. They move it around. They got good puck movement. They shoot, misses the net. They go back and get it. The key to this is Mellanby doing what he does best. From the point, on net, Mellanby goes to net and just dives and puts it in. That's where he makes his living. Gino's not here tonight, so Mellanby's got to take over and do it. At the other end of the ice, watch Juno come down here, one of the best in the business. He passes that to Zednik, who one time it. Weeks had no chance on that whatsoever. Watch this young Weeks go to work on Housley. Point blank,
perfect positioning. Krieger picks up the rebound, comes in, goes to his backhand, and watch Weeks. He's still right there in front of it. This kid is standing tall in the net.
In the absence of the injured John Van Beesbrook, his 4th career start, 30 saves on Wednesday night in a 4-3 loss to the New York Rangers. 20 of 21 here this afternoon. And there is John Van Beesbrook, who had started 17 consecutive games before suffering the injury in the morning skate on Wednesday. Took a shot off his left knee, a shot from defenseman Gord Murphy. Van Beesbrook was testing out new blades on his skates when the injury occurred. And he said, Terry, that we'll never try that again, testing out new equipment at a morning skate. Superstitious, perhaps.
Now we go back to that age-old argument. Should you have a morning skate day of the game? A lot of players like it, a lot of players hate it.
And the Capitals tie it from the right point on the drive by Juneau. A power play goal, and we are tied at 2.
Kenny, this is what they wanted. Coach Ronnie Wilson wants the puck on net and going, and Joey Juneau has just delivered. Coming in, good puck movement by the Capitals. They're holding on, back, over. Here's the key. The puck is right on net. I mean, he puts that in there. Young Weeks has no chance to take another week. Look at this one. Joey Juneau winding up. He can shoot the puck. Not only pass it, catches just the far corner. Adam Oates was there for any kind of a rebound, but wow. 30 seconds in, and we have us a tie game, and Kitty bar the door, Kenny.
Juneau's first goal in 12 games. He ties the score on the power play. The first penalty had expired. Juneau from Johansson and Housley, 26 seconds in. Ellenby scored 27 seconds into the second period on a power play. Here comes Bondra, and he is stopped by Weeks. Peter Bondra cutting down the left wing. But the Capitals, who trailed 2-0 and had been shut out at home for nearly 8 periods, have tied the score against a Florida Panthers team that has never lost this year when leading after 2 periods.
Kenny, I was going to say that the young Weeks needs a morale booster, but if this doesn't do it, nothing will. Bondra breaks in all alone, one of the top premier scorers. Take a peek at Bondra. Now, of all the guys you don't want coming in at this stage is Bondra. Young Weeks stays right with them. That has got to be a great, big confidence booster. And I was just going to say, Kenny, that the Florida Panthers got to sort of regroup in front of Weeks, help him out. Don't let the Washington Capitals come at him, but he just did it all for himself, stopping Bondra.
Bondra's 4th shot of the game. Weeks 4 for 4 against Peter Bondra, the 4th leading goal scorer in the NHL with 36. None in his last 5 games coming into this afternoon's action. Tied at 2. Capitals winless in 8. Panthers have not won in their last 6 games. Neither team has won since January 31st. As the puck deflects up into the Washington bench, that goal by Juneau broke an 0 for 27 Capitals stretch on the power play. And there's Juneau, the former Boston Bruin.
I enjoy Juneau, as you mentioned. I keep going back to 92, but this young man is very insane. He graduated and could hardly even speak English when he first went to university, and graduated in 3 years with an engineering degree. That's how sharp Joey Juneau is.
From RPI, same alma mater as his teammate, Adam Oates.
Adam Oates.
Juneau also a pilot. He builds his own airplanes. Here's Zednik on the feed from Nikoleshin. Backhand shot sails wide of the net. Capitals now out shooting Florida 23-19. Konowalchuk in front. Zednik was knocked to the ice. Richard Zednik scored the Capitals' first goal back in the second period. Capitals wearing their 3rd jerseys this afternoon. Panthers wearing the home whites. Panthers winless in their last 11 on the road as Radford stops the quick snapshot off the stick of Victor Kozlov.
And both these teams come out of their dressing rooms flying. I don't know what Coach Murray or Coach Wilson said to them, but they both have got the bit in their teeth, and they're going end to end, Kenny. Hopefully they'll continue this, because neither one of them seems to want to go into a shell. They're both playing wide open. And I know Coach Ronnie Wilson, he wants more offense. He mentioned earlier he wants his defense jumping up. And Coach Murray says he wants his defense tougher in front of their own net, meaning helping Weeks out more than they have been.
Brian Murray, the all-time winningest coach in Washington Capitals history. He was named NHL Coach of the Year back in 1983-84. He also coached the Capitals' only team to finish in first place back in 1988-89, and he was replaced by his brother Terry.
All in the family, son. Just all in the family, Kenny.
Terry, of course, led the Philadelphia Flyers to the Stanley Cup Finals last year. Now scouting for the Flyers. Paul Laws holds it in on the right point. Johansson racing over. And Dale Hunter hits Kelly Miller on the right wing. Capitals shoot in. Laws back for the Panthers. Florida playing without Dino Ciccarelli, without Robert Spaler, one of their top defensemen, and John Van Beesbroek. Kevin Weeks starting his second consecutive game in goal. Panthers 10 points out of a playoff spot at the start of play today. And they have 3 teams to jump over. Ottawa in the 8th position with 58 points. Carolina, the New York Rangers, the New York Islanders, and then the Panthers with 48. Capitals 6th, but only 2 points behind 4th place. Montreal and Boston tied with 65 points. Now the steal by Lindsay. Fitzgerald tries to center. It's broken up. Lindsay takes a hit in the corner. Rolls up the boards to Gord Murphy. Murphy from the right point. Lindsay behind the Capitals net. Out to the point for Murphy. His shot deflects through. Riki chops it up the boards. Onowalchuk and Murphy collide. Jeff Toms. Here's Juneau. Juneau with 2 points this afternoon. A goal and an assist. Lost the handle. Jobanovsky back the other way. Jobanovsky cross ice to Lindsay. 3.5 in, third period, tied at 2. Warner, right circle blast, Ranford the save. And the Capitals clear the rebound out of trouble. Ranford is hurt. Ranford rolling around in pain in his crease.
And he has not even tried to get up, Kenny. He is staying down. He's making no motion whatsoever to get up off of that shot that Billy Ranford took just seconds earlier.
So we'll step away with 4 minutes gone. There's Ole Kolzig, Capitals backup goaltender today, tied at 2.
Hey, Bud Light, can I have one? Not that one. That's the first one. I love the first one. Okay, then I'll have this one. Not that one, that's the center. Everything revolves around the center. Okay, I'll have this. No, not that one, man. That's the rear. Last one. Last
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Just no. Here, mine.
As the pilot flies through the night sky, the helmsman steers a course that is true. The landing signal officer checks the approach. The weather crew keeps an eye on the storm. The air traffic controller directs every move. The air boss orders a clear deck. The captain gives the final word. And the plane safely lands on board USS Enterprise. In the Navy, no journey is ever made alone. Call 1-800-USA-NAVY. Let the journey begin.
Today, the new language of business is digital. Sharp speaks it fluently and can translate it in ways that make sense for you. Digital networkable copiers that can print, sort, and staple from your desktop PC means your work flows faster and more efficiently. And Sharp faxes with Super G3 technology simply means you'll do more in less time and save money. In this digital world, there's only one word you need to know: Sharp, translating the new language of business.
And here's a look at the injury that Billy Ranford got. Trainer Stan Wong looking at him. The shot comes. Billy makes the stop. Ranford makes the key save. Watch Kirk Muller come into the picture. He gets dumped. Watch him fall on Ranford's right leg out. Billy is stretched out. His groins are stretched. And earlier in the season, Ken, you were saying that he's had a groin and a hamstring injury all along, and he was slow getting up. They will be keeping a close eye. That hurt big time, believe me. When you're stretched out like Billy Ranford was, and somebody falls on your leg like that, that could be big time. But he's up and moving, a good sign, Kenny. But I can guarantee you, they will be keeping a close eye on Billy Ranford in the nets.
Ole Kolzig sitting this one out. 21 victories prior to the All-Star break, only 1-6-3 since then. But a tremendous season in his first year as the #1 goaltender here in Washington. And Ranford, with those 3 injuries you talked about that he has suffered from this season, Ranford has not really been able to get into a groove, but Coach Ron Wilson said he would like to use more of a rotation down the stretch. Whitney in with a backhand shot, and a save made by Ranford. Cote then clobbered Whitney into the boards. And of course, Kolzig pulled in 2 of the last 4. Ranford came in and played well in the 3rd period in Philadelphia. Ron Wilson said prior to the game, we're looking for the big saves at key moments.
And they're getting it from Billy Ranford tonight, as is the Florida Panthers from weeks. The body checking is picking up out there now, Kenny. The boys are starting to go to the body, starting to lay it on. There's nobody relaxing in this game. They both wanted to get off that dime and the losing streak they're on.
Panthers have lost 4 in a row, 0-5-1 in the last 6. Capitals 6 consecutive losses, 0-7-1 in their last 8 games. Norton using his strength to hang on to the puck along the right wing boards, and then is stripped by Krieger. His pass picked off at center ice. And the Panthers shoot back in. Capitals have 23 shots, Panthers 22. Wells centering pass deflects to the near boards. Dvorak and Krieger come together. Bill Housley for the Capitals looks up ice. Down the right wing, Nikolishkin cutting wide on Parker. Centering pass, score! Again!
Kenny, this is unbelievable. Watch Nikolishkin carry this puck. This is just sheer determination, strength, and balance. Gardner's a big, strong man. He one-hands that puck out to Zednik. Paul Laws had him, but just let him get away. Zednik puts it home. And watch Nikolishkin. He's coming. Gardner's a big, solid, strong man trying to hold him. Look at this. One hands it out. Zednik is determined in front of that net. Paul Laws thinking he had him, didn't have him. And hey, 3-2 Washington.
And you think back to the evolution of that play, Housley very deliberately skating it out of his own zone. Instead of dumping the puck off ice, he waited, and then hit Nikolishkin on the right wing. To Zednik, his 2nd of the game. Capitals lead 3-2. And for an update from around the National Hockey League, let's head to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Kenny and Terry, take a look at Darius Kasparaitis' hit of Eric Lindros, whose head was down, focusing on the puck. He leaves the game with a concussion, will not return. I know you guys recall Brett, his brother, retired because of a series of concussions. Back to Kenny and Terry.
So Eric Lindros out with a concussion following the hit by Kasparaitis. Kalmanovsky's shot kicked out by Ranford. Ranford again slow to get up. But he's hung in there following the injury.
And Kenny, I'm sure that Coach Ron Wilson are going to be keeping a close eye, now more so than ever, on Billy Ranford in that net to see that that leg doesn't start to bother him in the latter stages of this hockey game.
Richard Zednik, as we mentioned, a healthy scratch in Philadelphia Thursday night. Inserted into the Capitals lineup today. Ron Wilson wanted more speed. He replaced Brunette with Zednik, and the move pays off.
See, Kenny, coaches do sometimes make the right move, believe it or not, contrary to popular belief. They do make some smart moves out there. Ronnie Wilson's one putting Zednik in the lineup today.
Now the lead pass to Gagne, but he's upended by Brendan Witt. And we give credit to Ron Wilson where credit is due.
Exactly, as coaches should be. That was almost offside, that one there, but they just about broke loose the Panthers. The Lightning better shore up the middle of the ice because they're really trying to... The Washington Capitals better shore up the middle. Old habits are hard to break, Kenny. You knew it was going to happen.
That's the first time in 5 weeks.
Thank you, thank you.
Here comes Muller for the Panthers. Muller. And a beautiful defensive play by Housley, who played a strong game this afternoon. 2 assists, and he breaks up the cross-ice pass by Muller. Juno shoots one on a screen. The rebound, Barbara scores!
Here we go, Kenny. They got the bit in their teeth and they're running with it, and Coach Murray was afraid this was going to happen. We'll take another look at it, Kenny. Bondra's goal coming down. Good spin away. Again, Joey Juneau, who is a great playmaker, puts the puck towards the net, on net. Bondra heads for it. The rebound, which Coach Murray said was killing them, that Weeks had to try and have. There's the rebound laying right there. Again, Muller standing beside Bondra, watching him put in. In fairness to Weeks, the last two goals, the one Zednik scored and Bondra, Laws was standing beside his player, Muller beside his player. Both let them get their sticks on the puck. And Coach Murray had mentioned earlier in the game that he said he wanted young Weeks trying to freeze all those rebounds. But again, Washington has got the bit in their teeth, and they're flying with it now, Kenny.
And the Panthers have not won any game this season in which they have trailed by 2 goals. The Capitals, meanwhile, have scored on 3 consecutive shots against Weeks. He stopped 20 of 21. They have only 3 shots this period and have scored 3 goals.
And Kenny, so often you see that. Young Weeks has played so solid, so well this afternoon, and then suddenly bing, bing, and you can't fault him on either one of those goals. Those 2 men should have been picked up and could have been picked up and covered.
So the Capitals, who trailed 2-1 after 2, scoring 3 goals. Here in the third, they now lead by the score of 4-2. The last 2 coming in a minute 48 stretch. And now a 2-on-1. Krieger with Miller. And Krieger's pass pops off the stick of Kelly Miller. Cote fires. Weeks to save. Krieger scores. Touchdown. Well, Terry, we talked about the rebounds.
Oh, boy. Kenny, the floodgates are starting to open up, and this is not what the Panthers wanted. Washington are coming down. They're moving the puck. They're looking. Here's the play that didn't develop, but they stay right with it. They make the pass. The shot is on net, and again, he's left all alone. Krieger, nobody's touching him. He is alone. The rebound, and we mentioned so many times that young Weeks has problems with the rebounds. Krieger is right on the doorstep, and Washington takes full advantage of it again, Kenny.
Now an offside called on the Panthers' 100th career goal in the NHL for Todd Krieger.
Go get help, boy. Hurry.
One anniversary card with 2 tickets to India inside, $3,500. Caravan to the Blue City, $64. Boat to the Palace on the Lake, $28. 25 years. More better than worse. Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's Platinum MasterCard. With a high spending limit for the things that matter.
Now that Wendy's is sponsoring the NHL, Dave is heading for the rink.
Here's your skates, Dave. We play on ice? What a kidder. Nice goal, eh? Nice goal, eh?
Don't need this, Dave. What for?
Can't have you taking one in the melon now, can we?
Oh. Mike, maybe we ought to have lunch first.
Then come to Wendy's for a delicious Big Bacon Classic Combo with Biggie fries and a 20-ounce drink. We call it the hat trick.
I know the perfect position for you.
Really?
Try a Big Bacon Classic Combo today.
Well, Terry, Florida Panthers trailing by 3 goals, 5-2. And you see their record this season when held to 2 or fewer. And a long road back for the Florida Panthers. The Capitals have scored 4 goals this period. 4 goals in a span of 7 minutes, 48 seconds.
I don't think, Kenny, you and I will be betting the mortgage on a comeback, except that the Panthers have been gritty all afternoon, and young Weeks, if he can just get back in the groove again, can hold the tide.
Shell shock here in the third. Capitals have scored 4 in a period for the 7th time this season. Zednik's goal from Nikolishyn and Housley at 5:24. As we recap the scoring, sticks and gloves come up Bondra, number 37 from Juneau and Oates at 7:12. And then a minute later, Krieger's second of the year, 100th National Hockey League goal. Miller and Cote, the assists at 8:12. So 3 goals in 2 minutes, 48 seconds. And the Capitals have scored on 4 of their 7 shots this period after Kevin Weeks was outstanding over the first 40 minutes.
And a whole lot of frustration coming out on the Panthers' part right now, but you can bet that Ronnie Wilson could be telling his club, hey boys, back off, stay away from it, don't get caught up in all this. We've got our game back on track, we're playing good, solid hockey, let's leave it alone. On the other side, the Florida Panthers have got to stir it up, but they've also got to get some traffic to Ranford, to the front of the net. They quit doing that, Kenny, in the third period. They have not gone to the net, they have not got the puck through on net. Reverse. Washington done it very, very, very well, and they're picking up any garbage laying around the Panthers' net. You know what they're doing with it? They're depositing it into the net for goals.
First time the Capitals have scored 5 in a game since January 8th. That was 18 games ago. They lead 5-2. 4 goals in the third period for the Washington Capitals. Zednik with 2 goals today. A 3-point game for Juneau. And Bondra has scored his 37th. Panthers led 2-1 after 2. And the Capitals have given their fans something to cheer about. They've lost their last 5 games here at the MCI Center. 0-5-1 in the last 6, scoring only 10 goals in those 6 games, 5 here today.
And down the other side, Coach Brian Murray of the Panthers has said that if things don't start to pick up, he will not be adverse to moving some of his veterans before the March 25th deadline. And I don't think this game is going to help his mood very much and change his mind in that respect whatsoever.
Gord Murphy's shot deflects back behind the Capitals then. Washington General Manager George McPhee has said the same prior to this afternoon with the Capitals in their 0-7-1 stretch. He said he would be looking to make some moves prior to the deadline. Muller's shot turned aside by Ranford. Muller and Hunter battle in the far corner. Under 10 minutes remaining. Washington Capitals 5 and the Florida Panthers 2. Lindsay from a tough angle, stopped by Ranford.
2 good tests for Billy Ranford for that sore leg, and he seems to be already handled both those very well. He doesn't seem to be suffering any effects from Muller falling on his leg.
Ranford has stopped the last 12 Panthers shots. The last shot to beat Ranford, Mellenby, early in the second period. That gave Florida a 2-0 lead. They've allowed 5 in a row since then.
And again, Washington's throwing up a pretty good blanket now. Their defensemen are keeping Florida Panthers wide to the perimeter, not letting them get to the front of the net with that puck at all.
Just over 9 minutes remaining. Bill Lindsay hit by Joe Reekie. Krieger looks to knock it up the boards, and now Dale Hunter flips to center. Todd Krieger for the Capitals. Wrist one wide to the right of Kevin Weeks. Weeks shell-shocked here in the third after a strong 2 periods. Capitals with 7 shots this period. They scored on their first 3 and on 4 of 7 overall. Brendan Witt on the left point. Juneau chasing in the corner behind the net for Oates. Oates centers. Bondra stopped by Weeks. And the Panthers, Niedermeyer, able to clear the zone. Peter Bondra inches away from number 38.
And Washington coming right down their throats after him, Kenny. Coach Ronnie Wilson is really changing his players up quick and fast now. They're coming over the board. 35, 40 seconds. Fresh troops are out there. Fresh legs.
Holding penalty indicated by the referee, Dvorsky. We'll be back.
It's not every day you get a babysitter and 20 pounds of gold here.
But the kids love
him.
Now that's a slash. Yeah, right. Yeah. Jack and Jill.
He has a unique interpretation of the bedtime story.
Broke his crown, thanks to a check by Theo Fleury with his Nike skates, huh? He's only 5'6". You're practically 5'6". He throws the weak club hand. Wink, wink, wink. Oh, Fleury! Yeah, I still got it. Who wants a cookie?
He's no Mother Goose.
And who's this Flurry guy?
Metal bars, designed to save your butt.
Metal bars designed to save your skin. Introducing the revolutionary Schick Protector, designed with super sharp blades wrapped in ultra-thin safety wires. And a full pivoting head for incredible closeness. There's no safer shave in the world. Hey, safe feels better. Schick Protector, the feel of smart design.
I was named after the sound of a goal being scored. Kachuk. Last season, goalies heard my name 52 times. Could have been more, but I spent over 200 minutes in the penalty box. That's the way I play, hard and fast. Like NHL Breakaway 98, with rumble pack checking, high-powered goal scoring, and the best graphics on ice. NHL Breakaway 98. Looks like we got a new leader of the pack. Acclaim Sports. Sweat the details.
Just over 8 minutes remaining, third period from the MCI Center in Washington. Juneau of the Capitals off for holding the stick at 11:55. So the Panthers to the power play, 1 for 4 so far today.
And today it's been a story of the penalty killers doing the job versus the power play. Kenny, both teams, their penalty killers have done an outstanding job this afternoon. And if the Florida have any chance of getting back in this hockey game, it better be now.
Both teams with a power play goal. Shoots in. Counts around the boards. Now to the left point. Now right point. Norton. Norton shot. Gloves up high by Ranford.
And they're making it tough on him. They're not laying down and dying for him. And if I know Coach Brian Murray, he'll be telling his guys, and another little face wash with the glove. Little frustration. And again, Ronnie Wilson doesn't want his players getting caught up in this. The Panthers wouldn't mind it, try and get them off their game, because obviously the Washington Capitals are on track and moving. But if I'm Coach Ronnie Wilson, I'm saying, hey, boys, stay away from it. Let's stay focused. We've got everything back on beam. Let's keep it that way. Don't get caught up in the foolishness and play their game for them.
Minute 16 remaining on the Juneau penalty. As far as Kevin Weeks is concerned, to keep things in perspective for the rookie goaltender, the only other time the Capitals scored 4 goals in a third period this season, back on October 3rd against the Dominator, Dominic Hasek.
Then don't feel so bad, Kevin. You're in pretty good company out there, young man.
I'm not sure Kevin would feel the same.
I'm not sure that'll be any consolation to him whatsoever, but hey, we're looking for a silver lining for the young lad who's played fairly well this afternoon for his club.
Still looking for his first National Hockey League victory. Centering pass, Ranford. Got a piece of it, and the Capitals clear down. Under a minute remaining on the Panthers' man advantage. 7 minutes to go, third period. Washington leading 5-2. Mellenby along the right wing board, dropping it off to Whitney. Whitney down low for Gagner, deflected wide. What a setup by Whitney.
What a great move by Whitney. He took that puck, put it around him, wheeled away from it, just threw it across the gun. You had the whole open net, but couldn't get the handle on it. But a real smart play by Ray Whitney.
Ran for the save. Mellenby was right there, but could not get the stick down.
When things are going well for you, they're going well. And right now, Billy Ranford's got everything going for him. Pucks are jumping over the sticks of the Panther players, and they're wide open to the side of the net.
The long reach of Konowalchuk, knocking the puck down into the Panther zone. Remember Mike Eagles was shaken up back in the second period. He has not played yet here in the third. In fact, he came out for warm-up, took a couple of laps, and then went back to the Capitals dressing room. So he's missed the 4-goal third.
And he came out and had about 3 or 4 real good hits at that session. And probably right now, Coach Ronnie Wilson saying, hey, if we don't need him, let's rest him, get him ready for the next game. Take no chances.
Penalty has expired. Chris Wells goes cross ice, and Ranford gets the stick down the Dvorak attempt.
Big save by Billy Ranford. One thing, the Panthers not laying down and dying on this one, okay? They're still coming at him and coming at him.
Partner's drive goes wide. Off the boards behind the net. Konowalchuk clears down. Capitals will be called for icing. Under 5.5 to play. Period number 3. Panthers trailing the Capitals by 3.
The net is your engine. The puck is friction. And we're the guy with the mask and big pads. Introducing 3 new high-tech synthetic oils from Quaker State, specially formulated for the vehicle you drive and the way you drive it, for superior engine protection. Quaker State, official protector of the NHL. Get cool NHL stuff when you buy Quaker State from the Quaker State NHL Cool Collectibles catalog at participating retailers.
5-2 lead for the Washington Capitals. 2 goals for Richard Zednik, who has scored 17 on the season to lead all rookies in the NHL. 5 of those 17 against Florida.
He's just famine for that young man.
And the puck deflects out of play. Zednik scored the Capitals' first goal here at the MCI Center against the Panthers earlier this year. And our turning point this afternoon with the score tied at 2.
And here's the play where Nicolishin showed so much balance. But watch Zednik. He goes to the net, keeps his stick on the ice. The one-handed pass. You think he's not a happy camper now. I mean, he sat out for how many games? Ronnie Wilson shows some confidence, puts him back in. What does he do? Make Ronnie Wilson look like a genius. Atta boys, Zednik. That's what coaches love to see.
Ronnie Wilson inserting speed back into the Capitals lineup. 2-goal edge over Patrick Elias of the New Jersey Devils. Sergei Samsonov scored his 14th earlier today for the Boston Bruins against the Chicago Blackhawks. But Richard Zednik atop the list. 17 goals, 5 against the Panthers. And we are told the 5 goals scored by the Capitals ties their high here at the MCI Center. They scored 5 against Toronto in early January. Capitals with a win today would even their record up 9-9-3 here in their new rink. They started the year by playing 10 games at the U.S. Airways Arena. The MCI Center opened in early December.
Probably right now, Kenny, Coach Ronnie Wilson could care less about what it was going to even up at. He just wants a win in the most desperate way. Any way he can get it, as would Coach Brian Murray love to get a win for his Panthers.
Despite their recent problems, the victory today could pull the Capitals into a tie for 4th in the Eastern Conference, pending the outcome of the Boston Bruins and the Chicago Blackhawks. Weeks gets the skate on the Bondra shot attempt. Bondra with a goal earlier this period. Zednik a pair. Juneau a goal and 2 assists. Juneau had gone 4 games without a point. Has 3 here today. We step out. 3:47 remaining. 3rd period.
Bet you Bud Light, my friend here, can beat you. Yeah, right. Okay, pal, you're on.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
This would be mine.
Make it a Bud Light.
Bud Light says my friend here can beat you.
1 anniversary card with 2 tickets to Indy inside, $3,500. Caravan to the Blue City, $64. Boat to the Palace on the Lake, $28. 25 years. More better than worse. Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's Platinum MasterCard, with a high spending limit for the things that matter.
The moral of the story? Get the world's fastest sport utility vehicle. Introducing the Grand Cherokee 5.9 Limited. Peterson's 4-wheel and off-road magazine's 4x4 of the year.
Long faces on the Florida Panthers bench. There's Captain Scott Mellenby. Panthers staring at a 5th consecutive loss. This is the first of a 3-game road trip. They play in Montreal Monday night, in Ottawa on Wednesday, and they are 10 points out of a playoff spot as we head down the stretch. Only 21 games remaining.
And coach and GM Brian Murray said before the game that he will be looking at to move some of the veterans. If things don't improve in the win column, he will not be adverse and will make some changes and move some veterans. He's playing them all. He's showcasing them all today.
Panthers already made a coaching change earlier this season as the general manager, Brian Murray, replaced Doug McClain. Doug named general manager of the expansion team in Columbus.
Columbus Blue Jackets.
And Doug attended a Panthers home game for the first time on Wednesday night in his new capacity as GM of the Blue Jackets. Doug also worked here in Washington as an assistant coach with Brian Murray.
Doug's got the perfect job. 2.5 years of nobody criticizing him before he does his first game. Not a bad gig if you can get it, Kenny, I'll tell you.
He can't lose a game for the next 2 years. Mellenby offsides, 2:39 to go.
Oh, and I forgot to tell you also that he is now my new best friend.
You spent time with Doug McClain and former Canucks coach Tom Rennie during the Olympics up in Canada.
We had a great Olympic deal up there on a committee, and it was funny that we were all three coaches relieved of their duties, but suddenly one of them became a GM, and boy, were we friendly to him.
Who's next? Well, part of the problem this season for the Panthers offensively, 6 veteran players on the right. In the right column, their goal total last season. On the left, this season's numbers, 3/4 of the way in.
And at training camp, Coach Murray and Bill Torrey they must have 8 or 9 20-goal scorers. Well, boy, they better pick up their socks if they intend to get anywhere near that record for their team.
Now, leading scorer in terms of goals, Ray Whitney, who was not with the club until early November. Whitney with 23, Gagne 15 is next. Dino Ciccarelli, acquired from Tampa Bay, has 14, but only 3 of those coming with Florida. We approach 2 minutes remaining. Today's game is presented by authority of the National Hockey League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the National Hockey League is prohibited. Terrific job by our entire crew this afternoon here in Washington. Our producer, Jeff Gowan, director, Peter Bleckner. Our technical producer is Craig Marlowe, associate director, Kathy Hunt, broadcast associate, John Walsh. The pregame show and intermissions produced by Nancy Bernstein, directed by Bob Levy. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. And the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Crunching the numbers for us, Dan Kaufman along with Mark Seguro and Larry Getlin as Gord Murphy fires from the right point and scores off the face-off. It's a 2-goal game with 1:58 to go.
And you can bet that Coach Brian Murray is going to be keeping a close look on this. And again, all afternoon, the Florida Panthers have been fighting back, fighting back. Take a look at this, Ken, and we always stress how important face-offs. How important are they? Well, take a look at this one. Right there, one cleanly back. He turned it all kinds of time. Nobody's out there touching him. That had to hit something on the way through. We'll take a look at another angle. Can you see what that hit? That hit something. Billy Ranford up and over the glove. So with 1:55, it's a 5-3 game. Capitals leading. Florida's still not out of this, but they got to get another one quick.
Victor Kozlov won the draw back to Murphy, who fired home his 5th goal of the season at 18:02. 5-3 Capitals. We'll keep our eye on Kevin Weeks as soon as the Panthers gain possession, but Jovanovski will head off. Zednik, the Capital, who was knocked into the boards by Ed Jovanovski, perhaps taking out his frustrations with the Panthers trailing.
And he's a tough little critter getting up. He's got a pretty good jolt going into the boards here. He's going in after the puck. Wells is holding him up. Jovanovski comes in off the side, lays a pretty good body check in on him.
And that may have looked worse because it was against the boards. If that hit took place in open ice.
Exactly. And he got his arm up, protected himself pretty good. Still a good jolt, but he's a tough little critter. As you said, he scored 2 goals. He's had himself a whale of a hockey game Zednik has this afternoon, Kenny.
So with 1:32 remaining, Capitals will head to the power play. Tonight on Fox, cops respond to a shooting, and the suspect is closer than they think on a brand new Cops. Then from Death Row's maximum security, see America's worst killers on America's Most Wanted. America Fights Back and Mad TV late night. It all starts at 8, 7 Central on Fox. Well, Terry, Paul Dvorsky obviously agreed with us. The penalty was not called on Jovanovski, but Kozlov for hooking. Good call. We're not totally blind up here. But in any event, Capitals to the power play, leading 5-3, a minute 25 to go. As the drive goes top shelf and beats Radford. Juneau's 4th point of the game.
And Joey Juneau had all kinds of time to tee this one up, Kenny. The penalty killers weren't forcing him. A great pass through the box of the penalty killers that set it up. How's he take this? He throws it right through the middle of the box to Juneau. Look at the time he has to set this up. Take a look. Decide where he wants to put it. Weeks gets a piece of it, but just not enough. Here we'll take another look. Watch Halsey put it right through the box. Look at the time Juneau has to tee this thing up. Weeks gets over. Just not enough time. And Joey Juneau puts the finishing touches, the coup de grace to this hockey game.
Juneau's 2nd power play goal, and he ties his career best with 4 points today. He's done it 6 times. 2 goals, 2 assists for Juneau, who had gone 4 games without a point and 11 games without a goal. Under a minute remaining. Housley and Johansson the assists. Housley with 3 assists today.
Washington power play goal.
5 goals in the 3rd period, scored by the Washington Capitals, as they will put an end to their 5-game home ice losing streak, their first home victory in the last 7, and they will break a 6-game losing streak and an 8-game winless streak overall. Capitals had not won since January 31st. Same day the Panthers last won a game, and the Panthers streak will continue. Consecutive loss number 5. Panthers now 0-6-1 in their last 7. 5 goals in the 3rd period against rookie Kevin Weeks in his 4th NHL start. Capitals fans on their feet as their club scores 5 times in the 3rd, and they defeat the Florida Panthers by the score of 6-3.
And Kenny, the coaching staff of the Washington Capitals got to be happy. On the other side of the coin, Florida Panthers not too happy with this result, but they saw some good signs in their goaltender.
Our new Dodge player of the game with 2 goals, 2 assists. Joey Juneau ties his career best with 4 points this afternoon. Juneau, our player of the game this afternoon. Capitals over the Panthers 6-3 for Terry Crisp and our entire crew. Kenny Albert saying so long from the NTI Center in Washington. Now let's head to John Kelly in Los Angeles.
2-on-1, LePerrier in for the Kings. In front, Blake, a great chance. And what a save. Oh, Blake nearly had his 3rd goal today. Yzerman now back to center. Welcome those of you watching the Florida-Washington game. Late in the 3rd. Red Wings down by 1. They have all good off for the extra man. Yzerman back to the goal for the Red Wings. Tipped away, but right to Murphy. A shot is on goal. It got through, and Fassé made the save.
Larry Murphy with an excellent opportunity. The puck rolling back to him at the point. Stefan Fassé stood his ground. Murphy not able to really get a lot on that shot, but he wanted to get it to the front of the net. Anything can happen in these last minutes. Murphy logging a lot of ice time. Good opportunity.
And we might get a timeout here with 44.7 to go. And the Red Wings have exercised their 1 timeout.
Red Wings wanting to rest up more than anything and get a play off this face-off. Here's the play behind. Yzerman fighting for the puck. The puck pops loose in LePerrier, thinks about putting his hand on it, and then he puts it to the point. Fassé, realizing he's got it between his legs, covers up. A good break for the Los Angeles Kings. At the other end, though, John, Rob Blake flying up into the play, making a great opportunity, trying to cap this one off. Good action end-to-end. You know, Blake's been all over the ice this afternoon. Got his 17th goal of the season, so Blake a real factor in this game.
Today's Jeep player of the game is Rob Blake.
Well, Blake has really shouldered the load of this offense. Now, remember, the Los Angeles Kings are missing their top scorer, Josef Stumpel, their third leading scorer, Luc Robitaille, and one of their best defensemen as well, Gary Galley. So Blake, a big game for Larry Robinson and his crew, and he knows it's not over yet. 44.7 seconds, and this face-off is going to be key.
And Yzerman will take the face-off for Detroit. With 44 to go against Perreault, and Yzerman got it back for Murphy. Now Murphy in on the board, and it tipped away and back to center ice. Good job by Ian LaPerriere of the Kings, now shoveled in by Shanahan. Stefan Fiset to the corner, right to McCarty, puts it in front. Not cleared. Nordstrom knocked down, kept in McCarty, had it blocked. Oh, Shanahan had Yzerman wide open. And I think Fiset knocked it down and cleared down the ice. And this will be an icing call against the Kings.
Action all over the place. Rob Blake with an incredible defensive play. He stopped the first one with his skate. Rob Schick calling the play on an icing, but Blake all over the ice surface. He made the defensive play. The Kings scrambling, trying to get that puck up. Blake with a coyish grin. He had an opportunity, possibly thinking a little bit of maybe getting that empty net goal for his first career hat trick. But Blake defensively doing an excellent job. And right now, Larry Robinson, because of the scrambles, he's going to take his time out to talk it over with his troops and make sure that no assignments are missed off of this key faceoff.
9.6 to go. And the Kings trying to hang on. Again, they are without some key people in Stumpel and Robitaille, but Larry said before the game, we don't talk about negatives, don't talk about injuries. Focus on the positive, and they've had a positive performance today.
There's the play by Rob Blake. He stops the first one with his skate, the second with his stick, and then it's off to the races trying to get to the icing call. The Wings got back in time, so it sets up a dramatic face-off with just 9.6 seconds. The face-off to the right of Stefan Fiset. Big time for a draw for the Los Angeles Kings. You want to win this draw. And basically now, John, you have the opportunity to just ice the puck. There's only 9 seconds left. Chances are time will run out.
LaPerriere will take the face-off for Los Angeles against Fedorov. And LaPerriere just fell on the puck. And that killed about 4 seconds.
Smart play. LaPerriere lost his footing. Both he and Fedorov trying hard to get down low and get leverage. And instead of trying to scoot the puck out, he just said, hey, it's underneath you. I'm going to stay here, kill off valuable time. Smart play by Ian LaPerriere.
Now 5.3 to go. Same men on the draw. Back on the line. And a shot by Lindstrom is blocked, and that will do it. And the Kings with a gutsy effort today. Some big bombs by Rob Blake. He scored twice, and the Kings win 2-1. So, for Craig Simpson, I'm John Kelly. Reminding you the final score, the Kings 2, the Red Wings 1. Stay with us. When we come back, James Brown will be in our Fox Television Center, and he'll get you caught up with all the scores and highlights right after this. The Kings win it 2-1 over the Red Wings.